I was scrolling down my social media feed on Instagram, and this article by The Citizen, which is a website, media publication company, or whatever you want to call it, in Tanzania, however you want to say it. They put this article up, and it caught my attention. It said, "Is it social survival why Africans change their accents overseas?" So that caught my attention. And come to find out, it was an article about code switching. Now, code switching is something we talked about in the past, many a time in the States, but I thought it was interesting that they were talking about it here. So let's do a quick read over the article, and then we'll get to my commentary on it. So it says there was a viral clip that amused netizens, I guess citizens. The Ugandan member of the parliament for Bukanzo West, Mr. Atkins Katusabe, returned from the West with a strong American accent. During his speech at the parliament, it was as if his Ugandan accent had taken leave. Most of his fellow parliamentarians couldn't hide their puzzled reaction to the phonetic styled English. One raised a concern to the speaker. She complained they can hardly understand him. Some laughed, and the internet went insane with comments, as they always do. I gotta find it, man. If I find it, I'm gonna try to post it in the comment section. I'm gonna have to find that video. But what is known, or what is now known as code switching, has long been a part of life in the African diaspora. And Tanzanians are no exception. Code switching, defined as changing dialects, accents, and the way one speaks based on situation and audience, has long been practiced. This has been a key to survival, a bragging right, and sometimes it is a genuine adaptation to the new life in reality. For many Tanzanians in the diaspora, mostly those who've moved to the West, they would tell you that landing in a foreign country and standing at the immigration point is when they truly notice how far they have strayed from home. As a natural human instinct, one would do everything to fit in. More in the article. So I thought it was just funny. I was reading through some of the comments, and just, different people's opinions on the situation. I thought it was interesting. This guy says, but no one changed to Indian accent after coming from India. Somebody else says, people try and change their accent in Africa around certain demographic of foreigners, but then crap on Americans of African descent. This is nothing new, or this isn't new. You have no right here talking about my name. Oh, I'm sorry. You have some right here talking about my name is Elizabeth or Michael, just to appease who? I've never met a foreigner who lives or works in Africa change his name or her name to fit in with African society. But I digress. Might anger some people. My only pushback with that would be just because sometimes the African names are hard for us to pronounce, and we don't know them. But I do know many people who leave America and they don't have pride in their American names, and they want to get back to their African roots. So that's not all the way accurate. You have many people taking on African names, Hebrew-inspired names, and leaving their old, as we call it, slave names behind. So I'll push back on that one. This guy says it's just ignorance. Even if you change it, you will still be discriminated. Therefore, rise up in ignorance. Sometimes the translations are not 100% correct, and sometimes when you're dealing with translations between English and Kiswahili, it doesn't go 100% to verbal line by line or whatever. So you might be seeing that too. This person says it's just adaptation. Adoption. There's nothing bad with it. I hear myself with a British accent soon. Maybe so. And then I do one more. This is nonsense. This is a nonsense question because people, I guess they meant tend to adopt what they hear often. So it's natural adoption rather than changing the accent. Again, man, if you're around it, you do adopt sometimes. And again, I don't know the settings that these people were in. If it was Parliament 100% or what, if there were Europeans around or what, but maybe that played a part in this. But anyway, let's get into my commentary. Let's go. Shalom. So it's been a while since I've been in front of the camera, but talking about code switching, many people do, especially in America. All right, they talk about the Africans doing it, but I think especially if you are the skin complexion that I am, it's something that you do, especially if you're in a business world, if you're in corporate settings, if you're around people who, you have a bunch of colleagues who are of the other complexion, right? I think we try to make others comfortable, especially in the business world. If finances, if money is attributed to your success, if money is attributed to maybe how you are received by other people, right? I myself, I know when I'm in Africa in certain places, right? I'm not fluent in Kiswahili by no stretch of the imagination. However, I will try to use words and dialect that I think is common to that area, common to the person that I'm talking to, right? We want to fit in. We want to make other people feel comfortable. So code switching, it's just like being a chameleon, right? You adapt to your environment, you blend in, you do what you got to do so that you can make it. But like I'm gonna speak to America. Most of us black folks, if you if you know any who are in the corporate settings or who work in the educational settings, we do have two different ways of talking. Maybe even more than that. We got what we're comfortable with. And then, like if you with your homies and you kicking it, or if you in the hood and you trying to interact and you not be bothered and this and that. And then you got when you are around, you got your vernacular that you use when you're around other people, regular people, other people, other people, right? You make them feel comfortable also. I used to laugh. I used to do like some traveling in my profession back in the day, right? So I had some white colleagues, one in particular I'm thinking about. We'd ride together all over the place. And he'd be like, man, what's up, man? We could be walking down the street, and when you see another brother, you be like, what's up? What's up? And you're like, dude, don't look at me and say, what's up? But you look at you and y'all talking, what's up with that? And it's just a way in which we greet. It's a commonality that we have amongst each other, that, common experience, I guess, that we speak. Now, again, I'm from the South. So being from the South, we just speak to everybody straight up. And I know there's like some people from the North, some people from New York and Chicago and all the places. They're a bit more cold. They're not as engaging as us Southern folks are. Where I'm from, you call everybody baby, sugar, honey, and that don't mean you're trying to flirt. That's just how we talk. What's up, baby? What's up, honey? What's up, love? All that is commonplace, but that don't mean you're trying to flirt with nobody. That's just how you talk. You just greet, and you greet people like that. The old people greet the young, and the young greet the old. That's just what we do. So going back to the code switching type thing, you might not bring that into your office environment. You might not bring that level. You're gonna be a little more straight nipped, a little more, you know what I'm saying? But when you get back to your regular environments, then you change up. I remember I was working in the office one time in, like I said, professional environment. I'm not going to say what I do or what I did, but it's me and another cat, similar background. We got to talking in the office, right? So we start kiki and laughing and kind of keeping it real for a second, just going back and forth in the office environment. Like I said, sorry, y'all, I'm in Africa. The power that went out on me, so that's just part of the way. But office environment, kiki, and we laughing, we having a good time all of a sudden. And then one of my other colleagues came by. Now she was a Jamaican chick, and she was like, fellas. And then we just laughed. And then we went back to, all right, cool, dapped off or whatever, went about our way, and then just boom, flipped up, switched up, went back to the normal little, corporate setting, corporate wear, doing how we do. But so back to this article, right? I don't know the setting. I don't know if he was around all Africans. I don't know if he was around just I don't know if he was around other people also, but I'm sure he was trying to speak in a way where everybody's engaged. And let's be honest, man, Africans, they speak English very, very good also, many of them, especially I would imagine if you're in a parliamentary type of environment, then many of them are probably more fluent than, I'm about to say more fluent than us African Americans. You know what I'm saying? Because just they try to assimilate And also they have a good grasp of multiple languages in many cases. And when people get to speak in the King's English, I'm thinking of some of the African friends that I know in the States. When they get to speak in the King's English, is very, very proper. Whereas we don't have the same properness, especially if you're from the South, that some other people have who have been more influenced by European speaking, English speaking, England and Britain and British type of, English dictions and things of that nature. But anyway, man, let me know what you think. The code switching topic has been around for a long time. It's often debated. Do you think it's adaptation? Do you think it's survival? Do you think it's selling out? I know some people who are like, man, I'm me, and I'm gonna be me everywhere I go, and I'm gonna stay authentic that way. And that's cool, and that's great, and that's wonderful if you're one of them people and you can do it like that. But again, in certain situations, for me, man, I went to. I ain't gonna talk my background all the way, but for me, I've come up in situations where it was essential for me to be able to move in and out of the crowd, so to speak, and to be able to make all people feel welcome and comfortable. So I know how to play that game, so to speak. So I will code switch. I'm a code switcher. You know what I'm saying? I do what I do, but I don't just code switch. I try not to just code switch among Americans. I'll code switch around Africans also if I can. Like I remember my son said, "Dad, you talk different around some of the Africans when I have conversations." But I know that typically I speak fast, right? American to American, we speak fast, and African to African, they speak fast also. But I know in my mind, you want to slow down your speech in order for them to understand. So I will slow down how I pronounce my words. I will go out my way to pronounce my words a little more with more diction and more emphasis, so that they can hear what I'm saying. Because I know the frustrations I have when I'm talking to somebody who's speaking Swahili, who's just haraka, everything fast. Even though you may know the words, it's hard to hear because they're speaking so fast and they get relaxed. And if they see that you know a little bit of Swahili, man, they'll just hit you with a tornado of words, and it's hard to process. And by the time you recognize the one word that you do know, then 4 more words have came out, and sometimes it's hard to stay in the conversation. So anyway, y'all, this is a quick hitter. Again, 42 is the next video, the next major video that's coming out. I just wanted to drop this one out there real quick because I was looking at my Instagram, like I said, and I came across my feed, and I wanted to talk on it. As another one, I was looking at Trump and all the craziness he's doing. He's banned some Europeans he banned their visas. And I just thought that was interesting because we thought, hey, man, Trump is just going after the Africans. He's going after the African nations and the Caribbeans and whatnot. But no, he's actually banning some of the people from Europe also. So, 2026, Lord, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect, man. Not really too optimistic, but hopefully things will be better because 2025 was a rocky ride, boy. It was a rocky one. So anyway, y'all, peace and blessings. Thanks for watching as always. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Please do. I'm trying to get to 500, just a lowly meager 500 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Before I hit my next milestone. So if you're watching this, you haven't watched before, please subscribe. Help your boy out. Give me a like, comment, share, all that good stuff. I'm trying to get there, man. I just want 500. Some people got 5,000. Some people got 5 million. I just want 500. Help your boy out. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Five Europeans were denied visa in the United States of America. Five Europeans were denied visa in the United States of America. Five Europeans were denied visa in the United States of America. And this has made big waves. 5 Europeans, if it was you, nobody would care. 5 Europeans have been denied visa to the United States of America. It has made big wave. Their leaders have reacted to why the US has refused visas to